We are live here at Johnstone Supply, 6th Ave in Troy. Very thrilled to be here. Very cool looking store. A lot of great stuff around. We will we'll do a little turn of the camera at some point, I'm sure. But right now, it's focused on the beautiful Tom Kozlowski. So I mean, what are you going to do?
Levack. How nice of you to say that.
Yeah, there's nothing else to talk about. I mean, that's it. Good show. I'll see you Monday at the Hideaway, and and we'll go from there. Sound good?
This is a little awkward, isn't it? I didn't think this is how today's show was going to go. I had a lot of other things planned on our banners that you can see on our visual side on YouTube. Welcome if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook or anywhere else. I think we have to just come out of the gates and discuss it. Yeah.
This is what you want from the beginning?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had different ways in which I was going to address
it. Yeah, you want to do this? You want to do it like it's not Levack and Goz right now. It's Goz, and you're like interviewing me as the team.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's getting there with Goz and President Levack. So we're just kind of separated. There you go. We just did a magic.
Go ahead and not call me that. That'd be great. This has been you know me. I don't love titles. This has been the most I've hated having a title my entire life.
I promise I will not labor on this. I will keep this.
Look, you ask whatever you want to ask because people want to know, and if you want to comment in, I'll do my best to tell you whatever I can and what I figured out and what I've seen. But that's the thing is I only know what I've seen, and that I think is and honestly, it's part of the issue. You can only talk about what you've seen and what you're privy to.
For those who don't have newspapers or may not know exactly what we're talking about here, there's a story
Facebook.
That's run.
I heard it's a little bit of it's on the social medias. I heard.
Yeah, right.
People are talking about
it's out
these
there.
Things.
There's a story that ran by Mark Singlace, a local writer here in the Capital Region, talking about Albany Empire quarterback Tommy Grady.
Yep.
Tommy Grady had talked about how it
Please call him. I mean, legend. He's a legend.
Great.
Like, let's get it right. Let's do it right.
To paraphrase, he had a poor experience in his words.
Mm-hmm.
And the 2021 Albany Empire, he discussed some things that had happened, where the practices were held, things like that. The details of the story can all be found. I'll give Singlace the clicks. That's fine. You can go find the story and everything else.
The story, I think the story is actually part of the issue.
Okay.
Let's
sit there with it. Okay.
Because I take some responsibility for that too, if I'm being perfectly honest. Like, I don't think I understood what I was being asked a lot of it, but at the same time, I'm not misquoted at all. Like, Mark Singlace did his job and he did it, as much as he had to. Bottom line is this. I see the story. I don't see the story yet. I get the phone call from Mark Singlace. He and I have a good relationship. I know he had my number. I guess he got it from Pete Doherty, who retired. Pete, what's up, brother? I don't know if Pete knows what the internet is. And starts asking me a bunch of questions. I think we talked for probably 10 or so minutes, right? In there was, did Tommy Grady get his bonus? I was like, if he says no, I have to go look. I don't know. Like, I joined the team the day of the opening game. That's when I finished my radio career, which I miss radio very much at this exact moment in time. Just saying something. And then, I wasn't in the front office until, mid-season or so. Went and looked. I couldn't find anything. For being perfect, I couldn't find anything. Tommy has always been great with me when we were doing the radio show, when whatever. This year he was always, so it sucked. I'm trying to find something. I'm just trying to find it. Couldn't find it, which pisses everybody off. Which is, again, that's fine. It just caught fire. It caught fire, and I'm kind of going to go to the end first.
That's okay. Yeah.
I'm going to go to the end first. I know for a fact that as of today, Tommy Grady not only spoke to Mark Singlace, said how much he did love the fans in Albany, wished the Empire the best. I know that he and Coach Menas had a very candid question about 1:00 today, in which Grady's like, man, I'm sorry that this is happening. I'm sorry this is happening. And Coach is like, they won a championship together. So those two have come, back to, they've reconciled as far as that goes. And it's Tommy, he's a legend. He's the best indoor quarterback of all time. And it sucks that all of this happened. But when you work in a certain way, if once I got that stupid title, now I have to do everything by the letter. I have to go through it by the letter. Nobody wanted this to happen. Nobody did. And if somebody did, they're a jackass and they should be beaten in the streets. It just sucks. It spiraled out of control, and it caused, and the fans are pissed, and I get it. I totally get why the fans are pissed. There's feelings hurt all over, but I spoke to, the only guy I don't get to see on a regular basis is one of our owners, John Kane. I got to speak to him at length today. He and I are on the exact same page. And it's all about the Empire. It's all about making sure Tommy, if Tommy says it's good and we say it's good, that should be the way it is. So the Empire is attempting, just to get this back together for the fans, and because it's the right thing. So it just sucks. It sucks the way it all came together, and it sucks that it's going to take a little while for it to fully mature and be over with. But I guess that's the key word. There's some maturity being shown finally on both sides. But I give a lot of respect to Tommy for calling Coach Menas, and I give a lot of respect to Coach Menas for instantly letting, hey guys, I just talked to Tommy. This is all going crazy, and nobody wants it. So there's resolution in sight.
Yeah, it feels as if everybody wanted this to end better than it would. And I think just to add some more context here, you appeared on...
We wish you wouldn't have had to start it.
You went on the Pix 106 show with Quinn and Cantera immediately, like hours after. And
they called me like first thing in the morning.
But it's interesting because you have both, again, the media and the president's side where it's a great move, although selfishly, I would have liked you to do it here. But it's a great move by you, and I respect that because that's the first voice you hear in the morning.
I wish it was my idea. No, they called me. Because I never wanted to talk about any of this. I thought, because you know how it goes. If every time you say something, it extends it. It becomes bigger and bigger and bigger, and the snowball keeps rolling and getting larger. If I don't have to say anything, if Tommy doesn't have to say anything, who knows, maybe there's a resolution before all this even starts. But because, and I'm not saying everybody did what was in front of them. It sucks because it never had to get where it is. And with any luck, it'll never get back to this point. And, at some point, I'm hoping that it all, it's Coach just actually commented. Coach was going to call into the show today, but he's putting together the roster. And again, he spent a lot of time today talking to Tommy and saying, those two were, look, they worked well together. They won a championship.
No doubt.
But Coach says, quote, I hope everyone knows Tommy and the Empire are good. Yeah. And I've already reached out to the league and let them know that. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I think just to take a step back here too, as well, that if you're watching or listening from outside of the capital region, it also shows how much
energy drink, by the way.
Yeah,
how
much of there is passion around the Empire and indoor football in the capital region.
Best fans in the world.
Think about that for a second. Just take a step back and wonder. It is middle of October, one of the best times in sports, and we're leading our podcast today talking about this because this is the biggest story that capital region sports fans care about on a Friday going into the football weekend. There's no bigger story right now, and that's what's happened with this. My media senses are tingling a little bit here.
I made my statement. Now you ask questions.
I'm just going to ask.
Sorry, that was supposed to be the way it was going to go. I just can't shut up. It's not my thing.
It's okay.
They say it in the office too.
So just from my media sense here, and you can stop me if you think I'm going in the wrong direction, because you have both, again, media and president spawning this.
Which is probably part of the problem too, because I felt bad not answering the phone. Because you know how much that sucks.
Yes.
You're like, no, I know this guy knows and whatever. So when people call, I answer the phone. I was like, look, all I can tell you what's written down in front of me. That's all I can tell you.
So timeline-wise, I love timelines because when it turns into a story happening, how did it get from point A to point B? So I'm just going to walk this through my brain, and this is just from doing media stuff for most of my adult life. Okay. So Ironman football announcement comes out.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a story locally because it's going to shift the roster potentially of who Empire fans are going to see and not see in 2022.
Correct.
So in my head, I'm thinking, okay, somebody locally might want a story or a quote about how Ironman would adjust that because Coach has done some hits here locally, both radio, television, print. So my thought is, okay, probably Mark Singlace reached out to somebody to get a thought on that.
Here's the way I understand
it.
This is because I think I can kind of paint it.
Okay.
Like the way I know. So coach and I are always, we're in lockstep. Like I do a lot of the front office stuff. Well, he's busting his ass with I talked to him and Coach Ware for over an hour this morning, just getting the best players they can get based on what we're going to do as far as Ironman, but also trying to find those stars that almost like family, the players we've had. That's why Brandon Cisse being back, Kenny Magruder, David Pendel and Libra, all these guys coming back is huge. But the Tommy thing sucks. My understanding is the original call was about Ironman. It was about Ironman. So it was Coach, tell me about Iron Man. So Coach talked in great length about Iron Man. During that process, Mark Singlace said, does Tommy Grady fit in Iron Man? Coach says, Tommy's, as far as I know, Tommy's retired. He's not coming back. Doesn't really make a damn bit of difference. Singlace calls Tommy. Somewhere in that conversation, the other conversation that we're all talking about happens. That's how. And then Mark Singlace, like you said, journalistic. He sniffed out a story, and now he's probably got one of his biggest stories of the year.
Exactly right,
jerk.
Because the timing of that, it's like someone's gonna look at it like, hang on a second. Yeah. They just won a championship. Mm-hmm. The resigning period.
Oh, you wouldn't know that if you read the comments. We're not very good at this.
Where it's like, where the hell did this come from in October? Why is this a story in October? Okay, that makes more sense to me with that all being said. Okay. That's
the way because the questions that I was asked were primarily about Iron Man first. Did I know Tommy was going to retire? And then it was, hey, by the way, boom. And I'm like, excited about Iron Man, something different. I know our commissioner played in it. I know Coach Menas coached it. He's the only guy in the league who coached it, and that's awesome. And no, Tommy made it clear pretty much all year that Tommy came back one more run at Albany. He wanted to work with this guy, John Kane, who got to, be part of the ownership because of that. And he told me, he had a very great meeting with Mike Corda, and that's one of the reasons he came back. He came back and he won, right after the sunset. That's what I thought. He's got a beautiful house and a great family down in Arizona. That's all I ever want to say about Tommy. Like if he's in the area, let's talk. But I can understand. If I was him, I'd probably be a little pissed off at me because of what I have to say. Because again, all I can do is read the information in front of me with what I'm doing. But again, me as a fan first, every day, all day, it sucks. It's not fun. And I'm thrilled that Tommy is good with the Empire and the Empire is good with Tommy. And then we just keep building. It's almost like when you're at a family function and your uncles fight and you're like, oh my God, they're never going to talk again. And then like an hour later, they're good. This is going to take more than an hour, and rightfully so, but there's a road to good.
You made this very easy for me because again, going back to the whole media thing and interviewing, my mindset to talk to you because it's presidents and executives. I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to handle this and probably have to ask Levack rapid fire questions. I asked one question. I got everything I need. I'm good. I honestly have no follow-ups. I have nothing else I need to say.
Well, it's one of those things. Like the first conversation with Quentin Cantera on picks, I thought it went pretty well. You know what I mean? Well. I thought it was one of those situations where it's like, yeah, you know what? Sometimes things suck. He's a good guy. We're good people. We're just trying to. Doesn't mean we always see eye to eye. And then it just changed. It's just changed and it grew. And I was like, all right, well. I was asked to comment by Griff Haas over at 10 and Fox, and I was just like, dude, we're on to Cincinnati. That was what I saw. I'm like, Griff, anything I give you is going to be my equivalent of Belichick's. We're on to Cincinnati. I don't want it. Like it doesn't serve anybody. It doesn't make anything better. It's not gonna help anyone. And I know that's the way Tommy feels too, and that's why it's going to go away now, and we're going to have to figure it out and mend fences and go from there. But then I was like, all right, I'm done. Well, then everybody's hitting me for a statement, and then I get it's just, and then a statement has to come out. And there's a joint statement with the league and the team, and there it is. And it's just as a former media guy, the best way to keep a story going is keep a story going. Just it's almost better to sit down, shut up, let everybody say what they have to say. Let them talk it out. There's a reason that 4:30 on Fridays, the NFL does the news dump, right? So this happened on Wednesday night through the week. There was part of me, I was like, I just got to get to 4:30 on Friday. And then by Monday, we're talking about new things, and then I can hopefully behind the scenes try to figure this thing out without the phone ringing all the time and whatever. It's going to, again, luckily, there were adults in the room. Everything's going to get figured out. Awesome. That's all there's to it.
I got
our girl Sydney Lou is listening. She says, "Hi guys, there you are." She's excited about Cisse, and she said, "Get it together. I've got some sideline screaming to do." Let me just show that so everybody can. Our girl Cindy, and it's this is almost like a class. Mike is connected. Does my media experience make these kind of things easier to deal with? Nothing makes something like this easy to deal with. Nothing. I feel like it made the conversations a little better. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I was able to have the conversation a little easier, the uncomfortable conversation a little easier. Because that I search for the uncomfortable conversation. I live for it. But again, it just, you knew from day one, even if every bad thing that everyone thought on every side, including the Facebook commenters and Twitter, even if every one of those things was true, no one's served by it happening. No one, the Empire doesn't win. Tommy doesn't win. This one doesn't win. That the fans don't win. The way we all win is we all find a happy medium. Everybody loses a little, everybody wins a little, but then we go out and we win football games with the Empire.
For whatever reason, I thought you said, does my media experience? Like you said,
yours. Is it yours?
But I thought when you read that meant Mike and Schenectady's media experience. So I thought like you were going to yield all calls to Mike and Schenectady and be like, we're just going to bench him. We're just going to bench him. I thought Mike and Schenectady was now your PR guy.
I called Mike and Schenectady and I said, can you bench me for the rest of the year? I tweaked my knee. Can you bench me? Yeah. So like, and I'll answer. And this is the deal, like because of the media thing, because of this, the job, the title, I'll answer any question you got for me
throughout the entire show.
Yeah. Why not? I don't have a problem with it. It is what it is. People want to know. I want to answer. Like I want all the fans back. Dear baby Jesus, all I really want is a packed Times Union Center rocking out to another Albany Empire championship. Ironman football's back, and I'm excited. I'm excited about it. There are actually other football announcements on the way. We're just finalizing details. I would love to talk about football. I'd love to watch people play football. Bobby Boucher loves football. Like, I just like this sucks. This was the first time that I legitimately walked into Mike Corda's office, and his is with everybody else. His desk is with everybody. So it's like a whole thing. And I went, fuck you for hiring me. To which he laughed and said, yeah, keep it up and I'll make you an owner. And I was like, no. This is bad. But, and Coach Menas, I said, all I want to do is talk about football. I want to see football. Coach, me too. Coach and I have that conversation all the time. Well, it's like on game day, it's like, hey, coach. Yeah. You get to do football for hours. He's like, oh. That's right. And then every Monday we go back into the office and I'm like, 6 days of football.
Yeah. We promise you on
5 days
show,
of football. Actually,
I saw our guy Matt wrote a comment. He can't wait to hear our picks today. We're going to talk some college football. We're going to talk some NFL football. We're going to do all that. But I think a reminder one more time: if you're watching on YouTube, if you're listening on whatever way it might be, yeah, give it a little shot where we are.
We're at Johnstone Supply.
Johnstone Supply in Troy. And how about this? Your chance today.
It's an umbrella. Why is there an umbrella?
A nice enter to win box.
Big old flag. Mark, I love it.
It's the first Gozilla Media bus trip. We're headed to the Pink Game on October 23rd. You have a chance to win 2 free tickets. If you're our winner today, come into Johnstone Supply in Troy. Talk to the great staff here. Our guys are looking to talk to you. Yes, they want to help you upgrade your home this fall, the heating system and more. Look at all the stuff you need. All is right here. Johnstone Supply in Troy, and your chance today.
Goz is crotch.
Hey, well, look out. Wearing jeans for the first time in a few months.
Goz is crotch. All right.
I'm rewatching the video now. What were you doing at this game? Look out. Whoa, look out. Do you want to talk baseball before we get into our football conversation? Do you have any interest of what's gone on in the Major League Baseball postseason so far? Because you told us in the last few podcasts you had no interest in anything going on in baseball.
Baseball's over. Stupid.
The white ball and the
baseball ended. Remember that night we were at Hooters? The season ended right then. What was that, like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, Tuesday? Wasn't it? A week ago? How long was that? A week ago.
It was about a week ago. All right.
It's like a week and a half ago. Baseball ended. I'm waiting. I'm ready for the next season. Chase the 28, baby. Let's go Yankees.
Speaking about that, the Yankees have cleared house.
Christopher James. Go Red Sox. Go away, Red Sox. I got him.
Before we get to the actual games, we don't even have to because the Yankees, Levack, have cleared house. Everybody but Boone and Cashman.
Yeah.
I don't have a banner for it, but
does that work though? Does that work? Go. Like, does that, like, I mean, you know me. I'm more of a fan of consistency. I'm a fan of not overreacting. I'm not a whatever. Which one of those guys, when you replace them, makes the difference you need done? Is it Tim's? Who is it? Who's the one that you fired, Nevin? Who is it, that you can replace him with a guy who's going to make the difference you need done? Like, I still think it's going to come down to a player. I don't think it matters who's in those jobs. I don't think, and I knew you. I had a sneaky suspicion they were Boone and Cashman safe, especially when they said they were going to be. That was when I really started thinking it. But they have to bring in something that is going to make a difference. They have to bring in, And for me, the difference with that team is a lack of I don't want to say heart, because it's almost like an easy cop out. Energy, camaraderie, the things that guys like Didi Gregorius brought to the team. I know they didn't win the series with him too, whatever, but like those things, like that moment when Boone snaps and says, "My guys are savages in the effing box," and all those things. They don't have that. They don't have the AJ Burnett, who maybe wasn't the pitcher you hoped he would be, pitched okay, but the pies in the face and all that crap. They need that guy. They need that element. They need that fire.
First of the moves with the Yankees, getting rid of guys. Yeah, those guys weren't impacting if they won 98 to 102 to 94 games. They're getting told what they're doing from their bosses above them. This is very much going back to a football comparison.
Oh my God, Heimlich.
I'm okay.
Oh, sorry.
I don't know where that came from.
Okay?
It's like laying off the coordinators in football. The head coach and the GM is the bigger situation. That's going to be a viral clip right now. I can see somebody paused it and sending it to me. But that's what happened for the Yankees. Those guys weren't the decision makers. Those guys were just the fall guys in this situation. Now, there are reports now circulating across the internet that the rumor is that the Yankees want to bring in somebody who is the opposite of Boone. And what I mean by that is like all these things that Boone is great at is like rah-rah the team and work with the players and all that stuff. They want to bring in the hard ass. They want to bring in the bad cop and everything else, which to me makes zero sense, Levack. Like, why do you need that? Like, if you want to figure out somebody in which, hey, here's Aaron Boone's strengths, here's Aaron Boone's weaknesses, why don't you just bring in somebody who's not Boone? I'm not saying firing Boone, but this mindset of like, we're going to build an organization that every time, basically somebody to like scream at the players, right? Like, is that what they're trying to do with the opposite of Boone?
Well, the only the downside is if that's what you're looking for, you might as well go ahead and cap Cashman, because Cashman wants Boone because Boone is going to do what Cashman wants. So whoever Cashman brings in next is going to be another Boone. Sorry, the league just released Iron Man rules, so we'll read that to you in a minute.
Oh wow!
Which coaches already been telling everybody, but we'll be able to see the exact write up, which would be awesome. Whoever he brings in is going to be the same dude. Whoever it is, you know what I mean? Like, it's just a matter of if you're gonna do that, whatever. These assistant coaches, they could possibly be the rah-rah in their face guys. Maybe that's the way you do it. So Boone's still, for lack of a better term, mom, caring, taking care of his kids, wipe their nose, make sure they get up there and everybody gets a trophy. And then you hire Gozzy Bear as the hitting coach, and his whole job is to go out there and be like, all right, I want your trajectory to be here and stop being a wimp.
Besides Bill Belichick, off the top of your head right now, like, let's not count college. College is a little different. Pro. Not named Bill Belichick.
Okay.
Is Brian Cashman the second safest person in sports? Because now thinking about like the lack of World Series championships in comparison to what Yankee fans' expectations are, the possibility of maybe some Yankee fans wanting Boone to go and all these changes and everything. I don't know at this point what it would actually take to get Cashman out as the GM, because even if we talked about this on the last podcast, let's say the Yankees did reset for a season. They followed the same model that teams like the Braves, the Giants, the Red Sox, the Astros have done over the course of the last decade, trading away really good players, dumping a season, rebuilding. If he can survive that season, I don't know how he's going to get fired. I really don't. Besides Belichick, maybe somebody I'm missing here. Like, that's unbelievable.
The question with Cash, though, is there a better move? Like, what didn't he do, I guess? You know what I mean?
Brought in Cole, brought in the Moose, brought in Rizzo. Right. Just couldn't get
Gallo, who you're trying to get a hold of forever, and I know he didn't pan out quite as well, but what didn't he do? I think the one, if I could go take over, like if Jeff Steinbrenner, or if I was going to be president of another team, even though I wouldn't be good at it, at least it would get Randy Levine, go be president of that team. I would, sorry, Boone, love you, but I would bring in a manager that would challenge Cashman, and I'd tell him to deal with it. All right, listen, if you're good enough at your job, you'll win the battles. This guy's going to challenge you. I'm not talking Buck Showalter. I don't go that big of a challenge, but like, somebody who has a theory, that maybe they ultimately back down when they need to, but has the ability to go to Cashman and say flat out, that's not how I want to do this. That's not what I want. That's not what I need. I need this. Because I mean, maybe Boone can do it like, hey, I want something different. And then when Cashman was over, he goes, oh, some guy just said he wanted to sign such and such. Like, it's crazy over there, right? Like, what?
Whoa.
Yeah, I want to play small ball once in a while. Did you hear that guy? I don't know who that was. But
it's under minor league system. Huh?
Focus more on pitching in the minor leagues. Oh, who was that? We should maybe listen to them. They sound very smart. Yeah, if everybody's thinking the same, nobody's thinking. That's what it comes down to. So and it feels like that's the deal. So maybe these assistant coaches will make a difference. I don't know. I don't know that I absolutely 100% agree with it. How you doing?
There's our guy George right
George.
There he is.
I heard you're coming out of retirement. I heard you're gonna be throwing hands soon, sir. I heard it was time. George is the one who was nice enough to invite us here to Johnstone Supply, 6th Ave in Troy. Make sure you say hi when you come on in. And man, just great stuff, great store, great people. Obviously,
he's like Iron Man now. He's got the bionic knee. He's going to be running a 4.40 soon enough. I think.
Well, we might need you on the football field for the Empire. So be ready. Get it together. Let's do it. No, thanks for having us here. We appreciate it. It's a beautiful place. Beautiful. Actually, it's the nicest place I've seen in Troy. Sorry, you get a little Troy shot in once in a while.
So now with the NLCS and the ALCS, you're done still, Levack. Ian Anderson's not going to bring you in.
I mean, Ian's good. The Dodgers are fun to watch. It's difficult though. Like I just don't. And mind you, I've been mildly distracted the last couple days, just a little bit, really? Just a little distracted the last few days. I'll be honest. But it's because if it's not what we're dealing with, it's the Gruden stuff, and then if it's not the Gruden stuff, then it's the Schefter stuff, and then Schefter's like it's just so many weird things that are going on. Yeah, without the Yankees in it, it's tough. I'll root against the Red Sox, I'm sure.
I will say this. My guy, Andrew Santillo, broadcaster for the Albany Empire. Our guy, Chris Honorado.
I don't know who Christopher James is, but he clearly doesn't know me. Jeff, you want the Sox. The White Sox, are they still – what's the thing? Oh, sorry.
I'm rooting for the Braves so much now.
Yeah.
I want Ian Anderson to break through. I want the Braves to make the World Series. It would have been fun if we got a Yankee-Brave World Series. But now this Brave team with a really good NL East, I always say that because those are some
Would you say it's a Brave New World?
Yeah, I would say that. I just don't want the cancel culture.
I just don't want to say it.
I don't want the cancel culture. Our guy, Sean Martin, who's a Raider fan like you, was complaining about this on the M&M Across the Board podcast today, that they loved how people were saying everything's offensive that John Gruden said. Now let's cut to the tomahawk chop as the Chiefs take on the Bills. It's a great point, but I'm rooting for Atlanta because I think that's the best story of those four teams.
The tomahawk chop is one of the ones that I don't like. And again, it's easy for me to say this. I'm a fat white Scottish kid from upstate New York, but like it's not. I don't know how that one's derogatory. I guess is where I land. But again, who cares what I think about it? I'm not even a Braves fan. I'm not going to fight for it too much. I'm not a Florida State fan. I'm not a Braves fan. Do what you want. I don't care. I'm not even a Cleveland Spiders fan. So whatever. But that is one of the ones that always like I get it. Like Chief Wahoo has to go. That's crazy over the top and stuff like. But the ones that aren't derogatory, or at least you think the intent is to not be derogatory. At least I at least want to sit there and go, oh, wait a minute, oh, can we just talk about it real quick? Can we just what are we sure? Okay, if you're sure, I mean, whatever.
Yeah,
but
it's one of those things where people started to pick up what they want and what not to be offended by. Like our guy John Gruden. We don't have to hit the Gruden thing. We hit this in the last podcast. Go back and listen on demand to our Techies Tuesday episode about Gruden. But since then, he's been removed from the Ring of Honor for the Buccaneers. And I saw Twitter light up and say, "So you're gonna keep Warren Sapp in there? How about the Bills still have OJ in theirs? You still, I mean, come on."
That's it. What do they call that? Whataboutism? Yeah. What about this one?
Yeah.
And I guess the thing about that I have the biggest issue with is it's not like you're going to go give back the Super Bowl rings or all the things that you won with him there. Maybe I'm crazy. I can't imagine there was like a huge outcry in Tampa. Get him off the ring. I mean, like most, what are we talking about? 20 years? I bet you a lot of people are sitting back going, you're right. He did coach Tampa. It was a thing. It's like, preemptive wokeism is kind of what's going on in Tampa.
It's exactly right. Levack, let's talk about our friends over at Mohawk Honda, because as much as we love Johnstone Supply here in Troy, back-to-back Fridays, we're going to be out live. Next Friday, October 22nd, we'll be broadcasting live from Mohawk Honda in Glenville. Your opportunity to get your new ride, your new vehicle, and take advantage of the Kelly Blue Book offer. Whether it's pre-owned, whether it's new, the staff there cannot wait to see our guy Greg Johnson and Cam McKenna and the VIP man and Hot Sauce and hopefully Lindsey Harridan. Maybe Andy Gelcher will stop in and say hello. I know he's busy doing things across the board. The Harridan family and more. Levack, we love Mohawk Honda. Wherever you're listening, across upstate New York, it is worth the drive to Glenville to get your new vehicle. Work with people that you trust during that car buying experience. I'm telling you, so many people have these horror stories of buying vehicles. Levack and I have done it. They will do the same for you. Don't think about a second place. Think about Mohawk Honda when you want your new ride. Mohawk Honda, where they always go out of their way to please you. Yeah, point at the camera. That's right. That's how important it is.
Please, you. Yeah, I love Mohawk. I was talking to Andy Gelcher and Nate yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did they ask about me?
Yeah, sure. That you feel better if they did. And just just the time they put like all these nicknames and stuff. It's all part of Nate, who wants you to know a little bit about your sales rep when you get in there and stuff like that, and kind of develop that relationship and stuff. It was really cool. He tried to make me do a lot of like the stuff he does with them to, develop themselves and realize exactly who they're talking to and how they can best serve their customers. And I just kept going, and he didn't want to talk to me anymore.
Were they saying the buzzword that drives me nuts? Were they talking about the word brand? And me and Nate, I got to talk to Nate about that. That's just he
goes, "What's your brand?" I'm like,
"Oh man."
I'm like, "Here, I'll give you a whiff. That's a good brand."
I want to talk to Nate about this because every time I hear the word brand, I love the show Entourage. I just think of this like scene where it's like 10 agents sitting around like a PowerPoint. What is Vincent Chase's brand? Like, that's what it just bothers me, that word. It's like I can see the comments coming now. Goz, what is the Gozilla Media brand?
It's an all-encompassing. It's like Quan, it's all encompassing. Here, let me.
All right, you do some things right now involving, I think, the administrative work for the Albany Empire. I want to get into some college football talk, and I got to talk about.
You wanted to talk about the Ironman rules.
I did. I didn't know if you had them. We got them ready to roll.
I think so. I can pull them off.
I'll pause.
The league did a little love out here. They got us again. Like I think, if we're being real. Coach is pretty much on top of this too. I love it.
Look at that.
So the full, if you go to the nationalarenaleague.com or the albanyempirenal.com, the Ironman rules are up, so you can go through them all on your own. Again, I had a chance to talk to Commissioner Siegfried a couple times today, and one of them was actually about football. And he played Ironman football, so he's explaining to me, he's like, you got to understand, like you're talking about the guys aren't going to have to play more. Like it's not going to be more snaps. It all comes out in the wash. They will have to play both ways, but not all the time. You'll play X amount of snaps here and this, that, and the other thing. If you're a starter, you can be subbed out any quarter and come back in. If you didn't start that quarter, once you sub out, you can't come in for the rest of that quarter. But if you start that quarter, you can come back in as many times as you want. So there's a lot of cool little intricacies to it. But Commission's number one thing that I thought was an interesting point, I want to ask you if you buy it, and you can say if you don't, the reason he loves Ironman football is if you put the championship Albany Empire team on the field against, the worst team in the NFL. I don't want to say Jets, but I'm going to say Jets for the sake of this conversation.
Okay.
The Jets would drub them. They would just run them off the field. But if you then put those same two teams in an Ironman situation and had them play inside the arena, probably win.
Nah.
All right. Be a hell of a lot closer.
Okay, so to defend that point he's trying to make, though, it's a different brand of football.
Right.
When you scout out the players, they have more strengths at certain things than the outdoor football players do. I will buy that then. I will say that scoring, let me put it like this. It actually would be a lower scoring game because those guys defensively would know how to match up with some of these guys. You could be a big athlete, but we've seen 6'5", 6'6" receivers out there. I thought what you were going to say was that the branding of these athletes, oh my God, I just said brand, Nate. I cannot. How dare you, Nate?
You said branding. You just say branding.
Fine.
So
that
how they're marketed.
Yeah. I think some younger fans, I'll stick by this, that they're going to look at players who play Ironman football and say, that's what I'm doing in Pop Warner. That's what I'm doing out in my high school team or modified team. Look, he's playing DB and he's playing fullback or whatever. He's playing running back or whatever the combinations are. I can do that. That's a guy I look up to. And if you're a young athlete, you don't want to stand on the sidelines. Like ever. Right. I know football is one of like the ultimate sports where you're watching half the game from the sidelines. You want to be a guy who could be an Ironman football player out on the field. I
like it. Yeah, I'm excited about it. So go read the rules, see how you feel about it, and I'll ask you, give it a chance. Give it a chance, and let's talk about football once in a while. Speaking of football, how about we talk college football? It's a big old weekend here locally. Homecoming for UAlbany versus number 5 in the FCS in the country, Villanova. Whew. Yeah, at least they picked an easy opponent for homecoming.
Tough matchup for the Great Danes. So I had the opportunity yesterday to talk to 5 Great Dane players.
Ooh.
I won't say their names. They were at the across the street pub.
Oh, okay.
And the other reason I want to say
they're eating lunch and reading to orphans.
That's right. I don't know if they were. I don't know if there's a curfew in season, if they're supposed to be out or not. Hopefully, I didn't get in trouble. Sorry, guys, if I did. They were not allowed to play trivia, NCAA rules. So take that.
That's fair.
They weren't allowed to play. But they're all excited. That's the thing. Like halfway through a season, when you're struggling, especially when you're dealing with teenagers, you don't know the attitude of guys. They might be like, "Oh, can we end this season? We just played spring ball as a real season. We had to cancel it. Now we're halfway through this year and we haven't won a game." The attitude's still there. They were excited to come home and play in front of the fans with back-to-back home games coming up for the Great Danes. Here's the big question, and I think you and I are going to really have to have a tough conversation about this quarterback spot, because who is the quarterback on Saturday? Is Undercuffler going to start? Is Carino going to be the guy? Are they going to go half and half? That's the decision here the Great Danes have to make, and as simple as it is, if you're going to beat Villanova, you might have to make a call halfway through the game that says, okay, if Undercuffler is playing better than Carino, we have to roll with them, because the Wildcats have so much talent every single season.
Yep. I mean, it is. What's the old saying? If you got two quarterbacks, you don't have one. Mm-hmm. They're very different quarterbacks, obviously. Like Carino, more mobile of the two. Undercuffler is the more prototypical tall guy, drop back, light you up, hopefully. I think it's going to be dealer's choice. I think you're going to see Greg Gattuso roll with the hot hand. And at this point, why wouldn't you? You know, nothing's worked right. Nothing's gone the way you drew it up on the chalkboard at all. You know, week one, you play North Dakota State. Defense balled out for about 3 quarters. And then time caught up with them. A couple mistakes here and there. Carl Morfor turns the ball over. That doesn't happen. You know, you go through it. I go through each week. I can tell you the moment where it went south. You know, last week, Carino, there was a fire under their butts. They looked good, and then they fell apart again. So I think, we love Undercuffler, but if Carino's the hot hand, you got to do what you got to do to get a W at this point. You're on 5.
And this is going to be one of these games where if you want to get gimmicky, if you want to run a few trick plays, if you see a wild special teams play, if you see an onside kick to start the game, I'm for all of it. Remember about Villanova. And we give them the credit like they always are a good football team, and that's true because the tradition is built like that at the FCS for that program. But they're not only 4-1 so far this season. You know, their one loss is to just Penn State on the road. Penn State. That's it. Penn State's the top
crazy.
10 team in the country. And if Clifford doesn't get hurt in that game against Iowa, we might be talking about Penn State as the number 2 team in the country if Clifford didn't get hurt. That's all Villanova's lost to this season. Now, here's another uncomfortable conversation. I mean, it's the Friday of uncomfortable conversations, so let's continue to roll with it.
Jesus Christ, what am I doing here? Why did I agree to this crap?
Some people are going to look at the Great Danes if they start 0-6 and wonder, like, what's up with Coach Gattuso? Why is his team so bad? I think that's too easy of a shot to Gattuso because, look what's happened in the program. You went for the furthest a team has ever gone in the history of UAlbany in 2019. 2020 got shut down because of COVID. 2021 spring got shut down. 2021's schedule to open the season was ridiculous. So, like, I think everyone in football wants to have the cool the cool conversation, like, who's on the hot seat? What's heating up? I don't think Coach Gattuso could even be in that conversation yet.
You never know. I mean, obviously you never know. It's pro sports. You never know what could happen. Is this the way it was drawn up? No. I would argue that it's when you're building a program the way that Coach Gattuso has been building this program, having things happen the way they have in the last couple of years at the state in which they were of maturity of the program, you know, it's going to throw things off. So if you're being air quote fair, you take this season, and no matter what happens, as long as you're showing improvement, everything else, you know, you're hoping that everything works out and you go into next year and you're a barnstormer and you just handle business. Doesn't mean that's what's going to happen though. Like a reality is that there could be impatience from the boosters or the supporters or the faculty, whoever, you know, but you look at the teams they played. You should have 2, maybe 3 wins. You should have beat Rhode Island. You should have beat William and Mary. Probably should have taken down Delaware, but two definite wins. I don't think when you drew this thing up, you really thought you were taking down North Dakota State, Syracuse, or Villanova. So these games, coupled with those other games and things that have happened, and you hope maturity and fairness kicks in, but you never know. You really never know.
It's one of these glass half empty, glass half full. If you really are a Coach Gattuso hater, you're going to say that way. And if you love Coach Gattuso, you're going to, because here's the way you look at it, right? Like, okay, UAlbany's building their own tradition now. They joined the toughest conference in the FCS level. That alone is a compliment to what they're trying to build. How the UAlbany Great Dane program has progressed. Could you imagine if the 2021 team played the 2011 team? They'd beat them by 4 touchdowns. Like, the level of football that has improved here in the Capital Region over the last 10 years.
Oh my God.
It's hard to even like compare them. It would be a blowout.
He's building a long-term sustainable franchise. Like, I mean, you look at the way he's putting this thing together, it's improvement every year. It's better recruits every year. It's you have to look, you have to know what you're looking for sometimes to see the way these things are coming together.
Yep.
Right. But it's coming together. Like, if you're just somebody who goes, that's 0-5. Now you're not good at what you do. Then you're missing it. You're missing it. He should never be, like, the way he's building this and the way people respect him, he should be here for as long as he wants to be here. That's my opinion.
A hater would also say too, like, okay, Coach Cattuso's only had 1 winning season in the CAA in his 8 seasons. Yeah. Okay, imagine dropping a team into the SEC that's never played in the SEC before. You know how long it would take to have consecutive winning seasons in that conference?
And then right when they start to get it all together and have everything, all 8 cylinders popping, stop the world. And then put him back out there a year and a half later.
Yeah.
Okay, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. No, it like I said, he's, like, obviously, full disclosure, I consider Coach Cattuso a personal friend. But I became friends with him talking about what I liked about the way he did football. Like, I liked the way he coaches. It took us a long time to find anything else we agreed on. So we still have not found anything else we agree on. So that's you hope that this ride continues so you can see where it goes.
And there's also a real fun part about this, that if it's not Villanova, the following week against Maine, a Final Four team within the last 5 years, that if they win 1 against Maine, it's an upset. It's a big deal. And you could be at that game thanks to Johnstone Supply. Troy, come in, enter for tickets. There's a little bit selfishly, I want that to be the game where they win, because we'll have a fun crowd. You'll be on the bus. You'll be having a good time.
You can win a few first. You don't have to do that. You know, that could be their second win. Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah.
And the tailgate scene's open. I saw the notice came out here from UAlbany social media scene. They are opening up the tailgate. A lot of other college football programs are staying away from that, man. It's really cool. They're opening.
That's because they're hoping you get good and lubricated, because the PA announcer's going to suck tomorrow.
Let's discuss that, shall we? No, we weren't. Let's discuss what's going on.
No, I mean, I'm scared. I've never done. You talk about the things I haven't done yet. Put on the list PA announcer for a major college football game. But that's what I'm doing tomorrow. That's the deal.
You some support.
That's my guy. I can't see him because of the glare.
I will tell you, Levack, if you have to rank the things, like, I think a lot of people who are non-sports fans think what we do right now in play-by-play broadcast.
I'm sorry, I got to do that. I just saw this. Stephen G. Moss says, an Iowa fan, you take back that Clifford or not. Go Hawkeyes. LOL.
Careful against Purdue, Stephen. Careful. That line's stinky against the Boilermakers. Yeah. But what I was going to say is that I think a lot of people group all this into one thing. Like, oh, you're a sports announcer. Right. So you host and you broad. Right. I will tell you, on my list of things I am by far and away the worst at is PA announcing.
Have you done it?
Yes, I've done it twice. I don't think I shared this over the phone with you.
So you have 2 more times than I have. Why don't you just do it this time?
Here's why.
I got you the offer.
I've been scarred for life, Levack. I failed in epic.
Haven't I had a rough enough week?
Don't guilt me. No, don't do that.
Haven't I been through enough
right now? Don't do that to me.
Haven't I been through enough? I haven't slept in 2 days.
Baby Rex got up at 5. That's not an excuse either. I can't. No, I'm not doing. You're not guilting me into this one.
Oh, Baby Rex doesn't sleep. Yeah. So you had sex like 2 years ago, and now you want to use this excuse to get out of work.
It's on the sex, guys.
How dare you?
Here's my first time I was scarred.
How dare you?
2011. Okay.
Hobart.
They asked me to be the PA guy for the lacrosse game. Now you know me. I'm not a big lax guy. I'm more of a baseball guy.
That's the thing.
Right. So here's what happens. They say, get up there. You're gonna do PA. I'm like, all right. I'm a college kid. I'm a senior. I'm gonna make some money. Perfect. So they say, hey, don't forget, we're going to do the starting lineups. This is D1 lacrosse. I think they're playing like Loyola. Loyola had just come off a national championship. Might have won it that year. So like, all right, here's the lineups. So I'm like, perfect. 10 seconds before I go live, they switch up the lineup. So everything up on the scoreboard is different than what I have on here. So here I am, number 22, Byron Powell. And it's like somebody, Mike Lazor. And I'm like, oh my God. And I can just hear somebody like, he's getting the names wrong. And I'm like, I know it. You're on an island. So then, like, also in lax, I think sometimes still you could give a second guy an assist. There's like a rule for an assist on something in lacrosse that, like, Score by number whatever.
Nunzio
Daldo.
You're not helping me. You're making things worse.
Oh, Levack, it gets worse. Okay.
Oh, God.
Syracuse softball 2014. They asked me, hey, do you mind if you come do PA? My buddy was working a SID role at that point. I'm like, yeah, awesome. Get there. I got nothing. I got no roster. I got no numbers. I got nothing. 10 minutes before the game starts, like we're about to do intros, they hand me a roster. I'm like, oh, thank God. These are all easy names. Perfect, right? Second baseman, Gloria Smith. It's Smythe.
Well, that's like Brandon Lau and Brandon Lowe for the, oh my God.
Levack, 5 in a row. 5 in a row I whiffed on. She's like, no, that one's Stephanie. That's Jonesy. I'm like, oh my God, how am I so bad at this? And then you get gun shy though. Then you're like, oh God. Oh God.
Player number 2. Number 2.
But you're good because you're doing football. Like, you know what you're doing in football.
Though.
You're going to be fine.
I don't do this.
You have a recognizable voice. You've done.
I don't want to be. I don't think I want to be recognized. I don't think this is one I want to be recognized on. I think this is going to be one of those ones where I just sneak out the back at the very end. Hand over the ice. Hey, you got to wear a mask inside. Well, you're in the parking lot now. Yeah, probably should still, and run for the hills. I don't get nervous about a lot of things anymore. I'm nervous. I'm nervous to do the PA for my beloved Great Danes.
I wish this would be.
I might be so bad that my kid gets kicked out of college. That could happen. I could be that bad. It could be a thing.
As a good friend and a good co-host, this is the time I'm supposed to step in and say, you're going to be fine. You're doing a great job. It's
you already ruined it. You already told me how
bad
it's going to be.
I have nothing. It is not easy. Guys like Mike Falvo, our guy at the Empire, like
that's the thing. Do you know how many people we called before? So Griff over at UAlbany, he texts me. He goes, "Hey," oh no, he calls me. He goes, "Hey, you have a PA announced before?" I'm like, "No." He goes, "You want to do it Saturday?" I'm like, "No." And he goes, "What?" And he starts laughing. I go, "No, I don't." I go, "I'll ask Goz." He goes, "Okay, great." Goz, no, Goz doesn't want to do it. I'm like, "Mother, are you kidding?" And then I called, I called the guy that I know can do it and would crush it. Scott Noel, PA announcer, voice of the arena for the Albany Empire. Scott goes, "Love to. You should do Albany all the time." I'm like, "Yes." He goes, "But I'm coaching baseball." I'm like, "No.
Come on. It's the fall. Get out of there."
Start running through names. Now I'm calling people that, I already talked to Griff. I already talked to this one. I said, I told him no. I'm like, "No." And Griff goes, "Can you just do it?" I'm like, "It's not going to be, I don't promise flawless execution. Tell you that. As a matter of fact, fire up the beer carts. I think everybody should have to drink when I screw up. Let's get this thing going."
Are they at least going to let you practice?
Yeah, I'm getting there like 10 tomorrow for a 3:30 kickoff. 3:30. UAlbany versus Villanova. With Goz on the PA.
Nope.
Especially if I suck. It was Goz on the PA.
That's right. They used to have it all the time. People confuse our voices. Speaking about tonight with college football, there is a big game out in Central New York.
Oh.
My Syracuse Orange.
Yeah, buddy.
Are taking on the Clemson Tigers.
Whatever. The shadow of the Clemson Tigers.
So, Levack, I thought I was done doing this point. I thought I was done laboring the stupid 44 thing, which I know some people care about, some people don't.
It's a big deal for you guys.
It's a huge deal for Jim Brown, Ernie Davis, Floyd Little. There's a big movement in the Central New York area that people want the number 44 to be unretired for Sean Tucker. For those who haven't been following Sean Tucker, here's a stat that blew me away today. Sean Tucker, through the first 6 games of this season, has ran for over 700 yards, caught for over 200 receiving yards, and has double-digit touchdowns. The last running back to post those stats is Reggie Bush in his Heisman Trophy season. That's a pretty remarkable stat when you think about that.
Impressive.
That's how good Sean Tucker's been. So what a lot of people thought was going to happen was this. Tonight is Floyd Little legacy night at Syracuse. You and I have both had the opportunity to interview the late Floyd Little. Awesome to us. Talked Syracuse, talked Broncos. So good to us. So the thought was that, okay, they're going to unretire 44 tonight and just get a huge pop from the crowd. They're going to see Sean Tucker with Floyd Little's number on. The place is going to go ballistic, and they're going to upset Clemson like they've done in the past. 24/7, Stephen Bailey has reported they have no desire to unretire 44. They said, John Wildhack, the AT, said they're a long ways away from that ever retiring. So that was not.
Can you imagine being the one who fell for that and started going crazy? And just like all of it.
Had your 44 jersey ready to go.
Right.
Restore 44.
Everybody's like, what? No. Nobody said that here. What are you doing?
Local radio host Brent Axe probably wanted to start that movement. If he pulled that off, that would have been credit to him. I know he was the one who really was behind that. He wrote a story in the paper about it. But I don't feel as good as I felt in past Clemson games for Syracuse. I feel like since you and I have been together, how many years in a row did I pick Syracuse to shock the world? I think the only time I did it was they actually did it.
You actually have a bet on this year. They might be. That might be Syracuse might be your best chance to win our national championship bet. I just as this is unfolding, I'm watching in our comments a little argument break out. Right. So Steven, running the table. IA is undefeated, never lost. We're gonna steamroll the Boilermakers. Corey from Greenwich. Not so fast. Michigan fan here. Go blue. This just keeps going. Corey, Michigan will win this weekend too. They got a bye. LOL. Steven, Michigan are the Cowboys of college football. They'll get you real excited and let you down.
No.
This has been going on. This has been a thing. Our buddy Philly Wish. Guys, you still got a Heisman vote? Just curious.
I am working on that.
I thought you did.
As of right now, I did. I reached. How much should I share about this? Yeah. Let me go to that question, because here's the thing about
before you say you have it. Well, if you don't have it yet, can you tell us who you're voting for?
No. And it goes to your question, Levack. Of all the years, and this could go historically, like past the last 6 years I've voted, this has been the most quiet Heisman Trophy coverage there's ever been. There's rumors out there that the Heisman is shutting stuff down with the publications. What I mean is that ESPN, there it is, there, right?
Keychains.
What a douche, right?
What a nerd.
Heisman publications, like they used to have the Heisman Watch on ESPN. That's not a thing anymore, at least so far this year. USA Today used to have it, Fox Sports, CBS. Go Google podcasts. If let's say I said like God wants to do a Heisman podcast, I would get a cease and desist letter from the Heisman Trophy that says I can't do it, because I would
technically. So you're the best college football player who might get a trophy in the end of the year.
They don't want to see anybody profit off the name Heisman, so they shut anything down, like the stiffarmtrophy.com. So I'm in the process. I put my letter through.
I thought you already had it back. I really did.
I think I have it. I think I have it. They haven't told me no. They haven't told me yes. That's also how I got my vote in 2015. They might just tell me on November 29th.
You might just get the ballot or whatever.
Here's your ballot. I told them, if you're smart enough, you're probably figuring out why I had to reach out to them, because the ways in which they used to contact me have now changed. Hang on, Levack. Careful. What are you all right? Yeah, I had to tell them certain things have changed.
Your email's a little different here. What's this? There used to be numbers in here.
Yeah, that's strange. But yes, I'm working on that. So yes, Syracuse tonight. Do I think they can beat Clemson? Here's what I think is going to happen in the Syracuse-Clemson game. I think it's going to be another heartbreaking loss for Syracuse. Back-to-back weeks, they've lost in the final play of the game, Levack. They lost to Florida State on the final play of the game.
Yeah, but they covered.
They lost to Wake
Not that
Forest.
It matters in New York.
I know. They covered against Florida State and Wake, so.
Oh, my God. You almost killed me. I almost had the sweet release of death.
Are you happy, Willie Fish?
Oh, my God.
You did that to Levack. You needed that today. Thank you, Willie Fish. He needed that laugh more than anything.
Oh, man. I got to be honest. I looked up and down, and I don't.
It's a bad week. It's the worst week so far, college football.
Here's the thing. I don't think I've had a good weekend of betting college football. I've had a couple good games that I went a little bigger on than other games. As bad as I've been in the pros lately, college makes that look like I'm great. Like I can't pick college football to save my life this year.
I'll give you 3 picks this week, Levack.
All right, do it.
With me here. 3 picks. I like Liberty. How about this stat?
Liberty.
There are no teams in college football right now that have covered in every game this season. The closest is Liberty at 5-1.
Who's the one they didn't cover?
Syracuse. That's right. They lost that game also at the buzzer. Liberty plays UL-Monroe. It's shocking that UL-Monroe actually has 2 wins this season. 31.5. Take the Flames, baby. Take the Flames.
You're laying 31.5 points?
I'll take all the points.
You're going to win by 32?
I'm also 0-2 taking points that big this season so far, but I feel like this is the one that gets me. How about this one? Pitt, Virginia Tech. Lane Stadium. Pitt's coming off a bye week. They got a quarterback named Pickett for Pitt. With the coach on the podium speaking about the Heisman Trophy.
For Heisman?
There you go. The coach got up and said, why is this guy not in contention for the Heisman Trophy? When the coach says that and they're coming off a bye week and Pitt could potentially get to the ACC title game if they beat Virginia Tech, they're going to let this guy throw the ball all over the field on Saturday. And because of that, Pitt, Virginia Tech over in that game.
I was going to say, you better not pick against Virginia Tech.
No.
Because the newest member of Gozilla Media will come looking for your ass.
I'm not picking over.
Lindsay.
It's official.
My media person, Lindsay. Yeah.
Back in the New York Groove is officially signed with Gozilla Media. The debut episode for Gozilla Media comes out next week.
Big Giants fan. Talks a lot of Giants. Never stops talking about freaking Giants.
And the other two, that's right. The podcast is good. She knows her stuff, man. She's great.
It's like, don't gas her head up. I mean, she's confident enough. She's a good looking chick. She knows her stuff. Whatever. Don't gas her up anymore. She already is.
Kansas State covers
Smart
against
girl.
Iowa State. Kansas State, Iowa State. The Wildcats love to cover at home. I had 3 other ones. I'm just going to do this one.
Do it. Go with all. I got nothing.
I got if Miami gets to 7.5, I like that one against Carolina because De'Ara King's out for the season. The starting quarterback for Miami got hurt and the line didn't move. How?
What?
How does that even happen?
What?
So if that's at 7.5, I feel great about that one.
Wings all of a sudden.
Yeah, so those are my picks for this week. I like Pitt, Virginia Tech over. I like Liberty to cover. I like Kansas State to cover. I like Miami. I kept thinking about Oklahoma. I kept thinking about Utah, but I've backed off on both of those picks.
Purely based on the spread and what they've been doing lately. Kind of like the over tonight, Marshall versus North Texas.
Ooh, a lot of green out there. The green gets you that green.
Over 67. I like that. Both Marshall and North Texas have scored 40 points in multiple games this year. They've also given up 30, 40 points in multiple games this year. So over tonight. That's what I got. That's all I got for you for tonight. That's it. That's all I did for college football. Again, mildly distracted for some reason this week. I don't know what it was. There was something going on. I can't remember what it was, but there was some. There could have been a thing. What? No, you have to tell me all about it. You know what? I will tell you. Lost a little bit of sleep this week.
Oh,
I did. I know we're here live at Johnstone Supply in Troy right here, and we love it. It's a beautiful store. I'm glad I stopped sleeping on this because this is a great place. I'm gonna go get all my tools and stuff here. But wasn't because I wasn't able to sleep, because I can sleep great. When I do pass out with my mouthpiece from the Integrative Sleep Center in Boston Spa, 518-885-6185, 518-885-6185. They're going to help you. At-home sleep study, custom-made mouthpiece, keeps your airway open, easy to clean, travel with, perfect. Works. I say it took me about a week, maybe a week and a half to get comfortable with in the very beginning. And then when they do the adjustments, sometimes it takes me like a little bit just because, it's different. It's different. But once you're used to it, night, sleepy time. And I know that some people are concerned about the recalls and some other items. It's not that. It's a mouthpiece, cooks in, you're good to go. Airway open, sleeping great. Integrative Sleep Center, Boston Spa, 518-885-6185, Dr. Fred Dreer, and the Integrative Sleep Center in Boston Spa. Help me sleep better. They help you sleep better too. And now that we've begun to made up with our good friend Tommy, I'm gonna sleep like a baby tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, can't wait. Can't wait. I will say that more people are watching today than normal. I think they're just waiting for me to have a meltdown.
He hasn't melted down yet. I got 30 more minutes, so I got my bet going on this.
Philly Wish thinks that there's a chance that maybe our former employer will forward the emails to you. That's gonna happen.
I don't think so. Although I will say this insider thing here.
Maybe they would just send you an envelope with salt because you guys are both so salty towards each other.
That's right. That's exactly right. There are 3 voters, I believe, in the capital region. I think it's me, Pete Doherty, and Michael Kelly.
Is Pete Doherty retired? So, but he'll still get to vote this year, though, right?
If he's retired, they say, "Are you still covering college football?" They may say no. He retired.
He told me he was going to write like some when he felt like it.
Oh, to keep his vote? Wow.
Well, no, not to keep his vote.
Typical Doherty move.
Not to keep his vote. No, he just said that, like, even though he's retired, it was Pete Doherty retired because the Times Union took great care of him, and that's the only reason that he decided to. But he said, he was going to take some time, and then he would write when the mood struck him. He would write articles.
Does he know what the internet is yet, or no? I'm not a fan.
I know.
I'm not a fan of his.
I know you're not.
I'm sorry.
I know you're not. He would also send you an envelope of salt to commemorate how well you guys get along. Pete Doherty and I have had some battles. Like, Pete and I have had some battles, but you got to respect what he does and how long he was able to do it, And if he gets to keep voting for the Heisman, at least he'll talk to me about it, unlike you.
Nah.
I got to do this.
Sure.
Excuse me.
That's what we've missed.
Oh. Did you smell that?
I do.
That was that taco truck plus an energy drink from Stewart's.
Do you want to?
Are you okay?
No, I'm not. I'm going to try to walk my way through. Do you want to go to our NFL picks next, or
I don't know,
do we want to go to non-traditional headlines? We can do either.
Let's get the NFL picks out of the way.
All right.
Did you see like the beginning of the people were waiting for our locks all day? How I did okay on my locks, right? It was the rest of my stuff I sucked. No, I sucked on those too.
Not great. I didn't.
No, I know I hit Pitt. Pitt was my big one.
Pitt was your big one.
Yeah. I don't remember what I did.
I think you went 1 and 3. You had a double lock for one game in the beginning. You had back-to-back. I have them all saved here if you really want to look at them. Let's put it like this, guys. Levack and I, through the first 9 picks last week, were a combined 3-13-1. 3-13-2. That's not any better. 3-13-2. Our guy, John, who filled in as our celebrity picker, how about 9-4-1? John, The celebrity picker. You know what I've learned? Here's my new lesson I learned about our picks. You gotta have.
Do we have some? Do you want to have?
Do we want a celebrity picker?
Do you want Tom to pick today?
Is Tom ready? I can wave to him down. He looks he's actually doing work.
Yeah, he's working.
Good employee, and the boss is here too. Yeah.
Johnstone Supply. He came over to me and goes, "Love the reads. Very exciting. A lot of fun. Enjoy it. You say there's a wait. We sell the equipment. We sell the gear. There's no wait here, Jeff. Knock it off." I went, "That's fair." Okay. And then I said, "So do I have to wait in line for the game?" And he went to hit me and I ran. That's a lie. I don't run.
And by the way, another half hour for you to enter for your free tickets. We've got some entries already, so make sure you get your tickets in for your chance to get on the bus. But
yes, that's going to be a lot of fun. All right, you ready to do picks?
Yeah.
I'm really prepared this week. Super. I've done a lot of homework. So let's go ahead and break it down.
That's the key, Levack. No more thinking. After how good John was, and we know.
Oh, can you imagine? If I just nail this, then from this point forward, we tape the picks. Whatever, the second the lines come out, if I actually have time to look at stuff, and we just go for the dumb luck picks, man. That's what you're used to Levack's locks. This is Levack's dumb luck. This is what we're going for right here. All right, you ready, guys?
Let's do it.
All right, Miami is going to be in Jacksonville. Miami is laying 3 points.
Before you make the pick, Levack, I got to give you a stat about this.
Okay.
You have picked Jacksonville 5 times so far this season. You are a combined 1-4, I believe, for Jacksonville. Now, with that stat being out there, are you changing your pick? Before you say, I don't know.
No, I was going to take Miami -3. Because listen, they're both steaming piles of Florida turd. That's pretty much what they are. The reason I would have went against Jacksonville before was the distraction of it all. Now I think they're sitting around going, "Hey, at least we're not the Raiders." It's hey, it could be worse. It could be the Raiders. That Levack guy could be in charge. He can really screw crap up. Let's go ahead. But I think it's going to be. I think Miami's going to get this thing done. I think Florida's the better coach at the pro level. So give me the Miami Dolphins. Give me the Fins. Give me the Fish -3. In Jacksonville. Actually, not in Jacksonville. Jacksonville's the home team. Across the pond. The pond.
Cheerio.
So fish and chips, fishing -3.
Take that, London. We're giving you Dolphins, Jags.
Yeah. You tried to tax us without representation. Enjoy these guys.
I'll also take Miami. You've heard my mantra through these NFL picks this season. Until you prove to me that I should actually put money on you, you don't deserve my money. Miami covers.
I've gone back and forth on the Texans versus the Colts. The Colts are home. They're a 10-point favorite. Where do you land on this battle of awesomeness?
Oh my goodness. The AFC South. Can we just get rid of the whole division when it comes to betting? If you walk to the window at Rivers and bet on an AFC South team, God bless you. I don't know how you're doing it on any of these teams this season. The whole division.
It's pretty bad.
It's
pretty bad. It's not good. As Goz would say, it's not good.
It's not good. Indianapolis looks so good against Baltimore. They look like a playoff team. They look like they can take down the Titans and actually compete in the AFC playoff picture. And then they didn't. And then they were really bad. Houston, same thing. Houston comes out, looks like a different team against New England. Davis Mills is making these plays. I'm going with Indy. I've slowly started to buy into Indy. I'm going with Indianapolis. Houston, you guys are a mess, but somehow you find ways to cover once in a while.
We named the dog Indy. Do you feel like Colts were robbed in any way? Should they have won that game? Did anything go against them that you look at and go, you know what? They were the better team and they got robbed.
Nothing's. Am I missing Rodrigo Blankenship's bad kicking?
Yeah.
I mean, Blankenship was.
But that's not like robbery. That's bad play.
Not really.
I saw Houston rise up and play good football multiple times this year, even though they lost. They play good football. Davis Mills should be extremely confident after what he did last week, even in a loss. 10 points is too much. This could totally bite me if I was going to make this play. Like if I was doing a star system and I had 5 stars is the most, 1 star is the least, like half star on the Houston Texans getting 10 points against the Colts. Green Bay is headed to Chicago. Green Bay 6-point road favorite. Green Bay -6 is the play all day. I might even make this one of my locks. I'm not 100% positive yet. Raiders get whooped on 20-9 by the Bears. The thing about the Bears they'll beat up a bad team. They'll beat them up. They'll handle their business. Green Bay's not a bad team. Green Bay wins this game by at least a touchdown.
When our guy, Jimmy Shapiro, sends us the lines, by the way, we get our lines immediately after the final kickoff of the Sunday night game. Not even the kick. I shouldn't say that. Right before kickoff of the Sunday night games, we get the lines for college and the NFL. I went through our lines this week. This was the number one of any game, college or pro, that stuck out to me. I'm like, wait a second. It opened at 4. It's up to 6, as you just noted. And I said Green Bay all day, Green Bay lock. I bet against Chicago all the time. John knows it. We bet against them for Detroit. We bet against Vegas. How many times will Chicago make me look stupid? Green Bay's the play. And I loved it. I like it now. Loved it on Sunday night. Like it on Friday. Might be really concerned 2 days from now. I'm going to the Packers, though.
Ah, yes. The Kansas City Chiefs at the Washington football team. Guys, if you like the Chiefs on the road, you got to lay 6.5 points.
Kansas City, you're going to cover, right? Like, the last 2 years, the Chiefs don't like to cover. You got to cover against Washington. I'm done with the football team. I'm done with them. And last week, they actually played okay. They're fine. They're back and forth. I thought Washington was going to be one of these teams that had a chance to get all the way deep into the playoffs, maybe even win the NFC East. Kansas City, Mahomes. The question is, who the hell is going to run the football for Kansas City? Are they going to bring back Larry Johnson or Priest Holmes? I don't know. Kansas City, they're going to let Mahomes throw the ball more than usual. They're going to cover, and that's the play in that game.
I agree. I think you're 100% correct on that one. I think it's a situation where sooner or later we're going to see Kansas City start to put this together. You are right. The backfield's not exactly what you would hope it would be, but I can't help but believe that Kansas City is tinkering right now, trying to find their best lineup, their best way to do things. I'll roll with you on this one. KC over the football team in Washington. I'll lay the 6.5 points. Vikings at Panthers. Vikings 2.5 point favorites at the Panthers. Is there a more confusing team in the NFL than the Minnesota Vikings or the Carolina Panthers at this point? But especially the Minnesota, there's something about the way the Minnesota Vikings play where you're like, they're good, right? No, but are they? But they're good. But then, like, you go out, you lose a heartbreaker to the Bengals to start the season. The Cardinals lost 34-33. You think that's a bad loss, but now you see the Cardinals are pretty much world beaters. You beat the Seahawks, you lose to the Browns, and you barely beat the Lions. I'm gonna take the Panthers. I feel like Chuba Hubbard's going to get better. I think they'll get a little bit of pressure on Darnold, but not like what he's seen. I got to take the Panthers on this one. Matt Rule will get it done.
I was all about the Panthers in September. I talked about the coaching staff, like you just mentioned, Matt Rule and Joe Brady, and how Brady was a lock for USC, and it was all about those guys, and it's just about McCaffrey. And that's my new mindset now here with Carolina. Carolina and Philly played tight the other week. I just look at this Panther team and say it's about McCaffrey. I don't have any more confidence left in Carolina because of McCaffrey. And I know Adam Schefter tweeted out he was out this week. You mentioned Chuba Hubbard. I wonder if the fact that they even said McCaffrey was out means he might be closer to returning than we realize. One more week without McCaffrey, one more loss for Carolina. I will take the Vikings.
Chuba played pretty well last week.
Yeah,
yeah. So yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you on that one. It could be the best game of the weekend, at least on paper. It is. The Chargers go to Baltimore, take on the Ravens. Guys, if you like the Ravens at home, you're laying 2.5 points against the Chargers.
Levack, tell me this: it is the Chargers at Baltimore with the 1:00 kickoff.
Correct.
Man,
you are correct, sir.
You know what? I know, and I bring that up, and you know why I bring that up, because a lot of, let's call them past investors in sports, would see that storyline and say West Coast team coming east. They would always lean towards the East Coast team. Because of that, I got to pick LA. They're so good. This is a battle between some young quarterbacks in Herbert and Jackson. But until the Chargers prove to me that they're not a team that's for real like they've done the last, decade plus, I'm going with the Chargers. And I wonder if that 1 week less for preparation for Baltimore and how much they needed to show in that final game hurts them in this one. I'm going with the Chargers.
I think the Ravens are going to be one of those teams that continues to the arrow's going to keep pointing up. I would actually like this to be a pick 'em, if I'm being perfectly honest. But you're getting Bateman back. You're losing Sammy Watkins for the week, but Rashad Bateman, the rookie that everybody's excited to see, he's back. I'm going to take the Ravens. I'm going to roll with the Ravens. I'm going to take the home team. I'm going to lay the 2.5 points. I could see this being a Justin Tucker bomb, 10 a game. Give me the Baltimore Ravens.
Real quick on Baltimore, one more time. Does it surprise you when you hear the record's 4-1? Tucker kick, to come back against the Indy. It's amazing to think that.
But they should have beat the Raiders.
Yeah.
There's a lot. Yeah. No. And look, the Chargers are a scary, scary team too, the way they play. And obviously their coach is the darling of all media at this moment with the way he's answered questions. And he does a great job. It's obvious. But I think you can score on that defense. And if you get pressure on Herbert, you can shake him a little bit. Maybe not for the whole game, but a play or two you can shake him. And I look at that that tall kid, the rookie they got for Baltimore. I think he could get in there and make some noise. I feel like that. Give me the Ravens. I feel pretty good about that one. I feel, you know what? Call it a lock. I'll take the Ravens. Lock the Ravens up. Let's go. Cincinnati Bengals are at the Detroit Lions. The Bengals are laying 3.5. Some point, crying Dan Campbell's going to get this thing done, right? At some point, I think at this point, I'm just going to keep taking the Lions.
Are you?
I'm just going to keep going with the Lions. And part of it is because Cincinnati, this may not even be true. Let me make up a fake fact. Every game is a 3-point game with Cincinnati. Every single game they've ever played is 3 points. So if I get 3.5, I'll take the other team. I think the Lions are gonna at some point they're gonna win. At some point. Yeah, look, if you look at this year, I thought so. Not every, but 27-24 win over the Vikings. 2017 loss to the Bears. 24-10. They beat the Steelers. 24-21. They beat the Jags. 25-22. You lose the Packers. They're 3-point game. They're the 3-point Cincinnati Bengals. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead again. Lock it up. Give me the crying Dan Campbell's plus 3.5 against the Bungles.
That was a great stat you had there about the Bengals about being a 3-point team. I think
I just kind of thought of it right now.
If we even went back further to our past shows when we do our picks, I bet those lines all sat around 3 to 3.5 to 4.
Let me do it. Let me go look at that too.
If you can find it, I'm very curious.
Listen, I have this thing called the internet here at Johnstone Supply. It's crazy. You can look up whatever you want.
Your theory behind the Bengals and the Lions, the same thing. That 3.5, I could see Cincinnati.
Yeah, no, it's not the same for the Lions.
All right, fine.
44-33, 35-17, 19-17. There's one for you. 24-14, 19-17.
So I meant the Bengals opening lines.
No, I don't have that.
No, the line's different.
I thought you were talking about something different.
I will go with the Lions as well, and they'll lose by 3 points on a heartbreaking kick, but they'll cover. They'll cover with that hook. Sorry, Dan Campbell.
Philly wishes said, I'm only watching here another F Ben and Jerry's. Fuck Ben and Jerry's. I do love their ice cream though. I'm not gonna lie to you. I just, you know, it is what it is. I can't help it. It's good stuff. Obviously I have a build for it. All right, so I'm in with the crying Dan Campbell's. Did you say you're in with the crying Dan Campbell's?
I am as well. Yeah, the hook that they put me over the top.
Let's do it. Let's all, and then we all post pictures of ourselves crying if we're right. I think that's the way to roll. All right, jump in. Actually, let's finish 1 o'clock with the New York team that's playing at 1 o'clock. Giants are hosting the Rams. Rams 8.5-point favorites. West Coast coming east. You're over a touchdown. I have to believe conventional wisdom would tell you to take the Giants in this situation with injuries. Danny Dimes, could play, all these things. I guess if that's your system, you got to go with it. What are you going to do? I'd rather listen to your pick first.
All right, here's what's happened with
I don't know how I feel about this.
Here's what's happened with the Rams-Giants game.
Rams-Giants.
Smell that?
Stinky?
It's a stinky. It's a very, very stinky line. Because that, 13.5 you thought it might have been? Something a little bit bigger than that? You would think that line would be
9-10, I'd probably put it around.
Okay. So I looked at that line too, and I thought of the same thing. Okay, this is going to be a blowout situation. No Daniel Jones likely, no Saquon Barkley, no Kenny Golladay, all that stuff. I will tell you this. Here's how I've been convinced to stay off this game. I went to the Twitter comments section. That's where you get all your great information. So our pal, we like Kelly in Vegas. I think she'd be a top 5 person I'd like to interview on Levack and Goz. I think she's fantastic. I decided to read the comments section of a Kelly in Vegas post. And somebody named @BengalsOB on Twitter had this stat that has scared me out of this Rams pick. Bengals OB wrote, this is some random Twitter account. I like the Giants a lot. Looks like Daniel Jones is going to play. Teams coming off 17-point blowout losses this season against the spread are 12-3 the next week and 6-1 at home. I don't know how the hell he found that stat, but I'm going to ignore it and I'm going to go with the Rams. I don't feel confident as I did. I know what, Levack, I'm going to make it a lock, and here's why I'm going to make it a lock, even as great as that stat is, because my new thing is I'm going to take my Survivor Pool team every week and just play the number on it. Last week I had the Cowboys. If you're playing Survivor Pools, I would take the Rams this week if you still have them available. I'm taking the Rams in Survivor. They may not cover because of that stat from some random guy on Twitter, but I will take the Rams and the cover, even though I had that random stat I wanted to look up.
Okay, 8.5. 8.5's a lot. I'm going to go with the Giants.
Okay.
I'll take the Giants plus 8.5. I don't think they win. I don't. Obviously, I'm not, whatever. I don't even know who's running the ball for them. I think, are you?
Not yet.
You have to be there.
Waiting.
I'll take the Giants. I'll take the 8.5 points. A star and a half. I'm not going crazy on that one. The undefeated Arizona Cardinals going to Cleveland to take on the Browns. Browns are 3-point favorites. Cards make the trade. Carson Wentz or Ertz. Wentz is already gone. Sorry, the other guy who used to be in Philly. Zach Ertz or whatever. They're all the same. White people all look alike. I mean, let's be honest. We all are very generic. Ertz. I think Cleveland gets this.
Ooh.
Cleveland gets this. Cleveland wins this game. I don't love laying 3 points, but I will. Cleveland -3 at home. Cardinals get their first loss of the year.
I'm eating a lot of crow. Cliff Kingsbury's a bum. Eat that crow. Kyler Murray's too
Are you eating Cardinals?
Yeah, I know. Over the Cardinals, because I thought they're going to be good, but I'm
saying, why eat crow when you should be eating Cardinals? It's Arizona. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not eating that.
Dad jokes. Let's go.
I'll take Arizona, please. I think it could be a shootout, though. Hopefully a really high-scoring game. Nick Chubb out for the game? Is that the rumor I'm hearing around?
Yeah, he's out. Last I looked, he was out.
So it could be a lot of points, though, if they're going to let Mayfield and Murray throw the ball. Former Oklahoma guys. Arizona in that game.
All right. You love you some Kyler Murray. You're a big Kyler Murray fan all of a sudden.
He's so short.
Big fan of Kyler Murray. We're live at Johnstone Supply, Levack and Goz, right here on Gozilla Media YouTube. We're live on the Johnstone Supply Facebook page. We're live on Tech East Fire and Water Restoration Facebook page. And I am going to tell you that the Las Vegas Raiders.
There it is.
Probably going through a worse week than me. They're going to Denver. Denver's a 4-point favorite, guys. What do you think? You going with the Raiders? You going with the horses?
It's so sad now that the greatest bet in the Levack and Goz show bets, the Broncos unders till we bleed bets have to stop now because finally Pittsburgh and Denver went over. I am now slowly learning that Levack may have been right about the Denver Broncos and they actually stink. They're not good. Melvin Gordon's banged up. The quarterbacks aren't good. The defense is overrated. How about Vegas just comes together and wins this game? I have no idea who the name of your new head coach is. I've looked at it 3 times. I have no idea how to pronounce it. I'm not looking at it now. I gave up. I don't know who it is. I gave up. I know it ends with an I. It ends with an I. I know that.
I was sitting there going, all right, well, it's going to be Gus Bradley. It's going to be, Rod Marinelli. It's going to be one of those guys who has all this experience. They're like, nah, we're not going to do that for you, Levack. You're not getting that. It's not going to happen. Don't you learn to say a new name, and that's all there is to
Anthony Saramucci, the Mooch, right? The guy from the White House. Is that him? No,
Scaramouche.
That's not him. Big Brother Celebrity Edition.
No, it's look. Everybody loves the guy. I tried to learn it earlier. And
no, don't even worry. You know what? It doesn't matter. How about they have a different head coach every week, like celebrity style, Vegas style?
It's just not me. They got enough problems. They don't need me. They don't need me on this journey. I'll take the Raiders because I can't go against them. I'll take 4 points. I'd love to see them batten down the hatches, play great football. They've got a talented team. Wouldn't it be like, as much as you can debate where Gruden is, why Gruden is, what kind of person he is, and I know a lot of people can't debate that last part. Wouldn't it kind of be crazy if he was kind of holding the team back?
What do you mean?
Him being gone, his theories never really fit Carr or whatever. And then all of a sudden, comes in and they start playing great football again, like they did in the first couple games this year. Because I watch all the Raiders fan pages and stuff like that, and it was great. Here we go. Let's start looking at the draft. And the other guys are like, bro, we're 3-2. There's a lot of real minutes left. No, I think they could launch up a little bit this week. I really do. I think Denver might be one of the most overrated teams in football. So, but saying that, there's a good chance that the Raiders are as well, or were. I'll take the Raiders. I'll take the 4. I'll take the 4 points. I like it. Staying in that 4 o'clock window, you got the Dallas Cowboys at the New England Patriots. Cowboys 3.5-point favorites. Whew.
I got this stat for you, Levack.
Okay. Give me a stat. Your stat action.
Those in the comments section who stuck around for our picks, here's a stat for you. Maybe the best stat of our pick segment so far. There is only one NFL team through the first 5 weeks of the season that is 5-0 against the spread. One NFL team 5-0 against the spread. Who is that team, Levack?
Is it the Dallas Cowboys?
Ding, ding, ding. The Dallas Cowboys are the only team that is undefeated against the spread this season. With that stat, I so badly want to pick New England because I was so confident that the Bucs were going to blow them out. They seem to be the spread stoppers, but Dallas is so good.
Yeah.
Dallas is so good. If they're New England going to win this game or cover in this game, or so win, obviously Belichick wants the W. They got to slow down the pace like they did against Tampa, a better team talent-wise than them. But boy, with Zeke cooking now and Dak and the D, this is the Cowboys. You know what? I'm making this one of my locks.
Ooh.
One of my locks, the Dallas Cowboys.
How good is Dak Prescott? He's really freaking good.
Mm-hmm.
He's smart. He knows what he's doing. And it's important to say the smart part because even if you're good, but you're dumb, Belichick will beat you. But he's smart. He's an intelligent human being. He's good at football. I'm with you. I'll lay the points. Even in New England, I'll take the Cowboys. I'll lay the 3.5 with you. I'll roll with you. Yeah, I know. I'm getting some phone calls. I don't know if he wants to come on though.
No,
or else I'd answer him on the air. No, we're just there's a lot going on in Empire Land. So if you see me look down at my phone once in a while, I apologize for that. We're live at Johnstone Supply. What I would give to just be thinking about Johnstone Supply and all these great Milwaukee toolboxes and tools all around me. There's some sales going on right now. I think I heard him say 10% off a bunch of stuff over there. I do need a ladder. Somebody took my ladder, so maybe I'll buy a ladder on the way out. Who knows? Do you have one for the Husky boys? All right. So the Sunday night football game, the Seattle Seahawks at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh Steelers are 5-point favorites at home.
This might be the first time, Levack, and maybe you've done this and I don't remember it. Have you ever double locked one game? You did an over to cover, I think, for a Browns game earlier this season. Maybe it was.
Wait, you want to use 2 locks on one pick?
I want to use 2 locks on one pick. So two different locks in this game. So what I mean is that this could be my dumbest play the entire year or my smartest. Let's think about what's going on here with Steelers and Seahawks. The Seahawks just moments ago, so update your fantasy teams, officially announced Russell Wilson is out for this game, and Chris Carson is out for this game. If you're a Steeler fan, Juju Smith-Schuster is out for this game. So you're betting on a busted-up Ben Roethlisberger and Geno Smith. For that, give me the over. If it's still at 42, I will take the over because I said this. Okay. This rarely happens.
43 is what I've got it at this exact second in time.
I don't love that as much.
It opened at 48 and has been bet down. So
okay, I'm still going to live with it. I wish it was 41.5, but I'll still live with it.
All right.
Here's what I got. This has never happened.
That's a lot of downward momentum. I'll put that out there for you right there.
The public money, though, I'm going to tell myself.
All right.
It's never happened here that our fantasy guys, Chet Davis, Taylor Lattimore, Bryce Zielinski, We Talk Fantasy, Sports with the Zenith T, all said one guy was going to break out in fantasy this week. Deontay Johnson for the Steelers. All 3 picked the same guy, not talking about it. So you can bet on that at Rivers. So if you're telling me I get Deontay Johnson, who I actually think stinks, and I don't think he's actually good enough to be in the NFL, but whatever, and I get Geno Smith and Ben Roethlisberger and public money, I'm taking the over in Seahawks Steelers, and I'm taking the Seahawks at home with the points. I'll take both.
Oh,
I'm betting for Geno Smith, which might be the dumbest thing I've ever done in the history of this show.
Pittsburgh -5 on this one because they're running the football again. I like it. Good job on that part. And then I'm going to follow the money. I'll take my last lock. I'll make the under 43. I'll follow the money. I'll go against you.
Okay.
I'll lock off with you. I ain't scared of you. Let's do it. All right. Let's do this. So we got Monday night. We're going to be live Monday night over at the Hideaway. So we'll pick. We can actually pick that one there. But I will just look at it and say that Buffalo versus Tennessee does not look good for Tennessee in my eyes, if I'm being clear. And I'm bruised and it hurts and I don't know what happened. So there you go. There's our picks.
Okay.
There's our picks.
I say the same thing. I think Tennessee, Buffalo playoff teams hold until Monday.
As Goz was saying, it's not good. Oh man, what a day.
I have one traditional headline, Levack, for us to close this show.
I thought you said non-traditional. Isn't
non-traditional? Yeah.
Is it still? Here you go. A non-traditional. Boom! Look at that non-traditional headline.
Singer and actress Demi Lovato has now said that they find the term offensive. I want to make sure I got her pronouns correct. They find the term offensive. She explained recently in her Peacock docuseries, Identified with Demi Lovato, quote, I really think that there was anything out there that would want to do with us, it would have to happen by now. But I think we have to stop calling them aliens because aliens is a derogatory term for anything. That's why I call them ETs. What do you make of Demi Lovato defending the aliens and feeling like that's an offensive term for extraterrestrials?
Have we done a? She goes with they, them.
Yes, I want to make sure I get that right. She goes by they now.
Have we considered doing a wellness check on them? Can we? Like, alien is something that doesn't live here. That's like what it is. It's not, it's not. I know. She's had a struggle. Like, or I'm sorry, they've had a struggle. I'm trying to be woke. Barely awake, but I'm trying to be woke. What do you want from me? No. It's not. If that's the tipping point, that ET and Alf are rolling by. Oh, windows up. They said alien. Like what? No, hold on. How about the fact that we suck as a people and we have a pandemic? Maybe that's what they're going. Maybe that's why they fly by and go, you know what? No, thank you. I'll pass.
Just because you have this is a good advice for anybody. Just because you have a platform doesn't mean you have to have an opinion on everything. Maybe just keep that one to yourself.
Trust me. There's so many things I'd like to not have an opinion on. I'd like to not have an opinion on many things. I'm very opinionated. That's all there is to it.
Do you think the aliens were like, thank you? Oh my God, we're going to invade.
Excuse me. The ETs.
The ETs were like, look, we're going to invade Earth, but you guys have been calling us that terrible term.
That A word.
You know what? Now we're coming. Thank you, Demi. We thought about coming for all these years, but now it's going to turn the tide.
Demi Lovato. She's in. She's going to help everybody. Or I'm sorry, they. She likes they. Damn it. I just want to be clear with everybody. I'm never going to get that. That's never going to happen. You're going to have to accept that I identify as someone who doesn't get your pronouns. I'm sorry. I identify as a traditional pronounist.
I promise.
Is that a thing? Can we do that?
Nothing would make Levack more happy today than at the Jeff Levack on Twitter if you corrected him about the pronouns that he used. Nothing would make him. Oh, if you want it one more time, Levack, our guy Mark Singlace is now arguing with people on Twitter about the Grady article.
What's he saying now? Go ahead.
Do you want to read it?
I don't want to read it to me. What do we got here?
Somebody named Evan is now going at Mark Singlace who said, "Do you feel guilty about getting Tommy Grady suspended?" Mark Singlace, I don't feel guilty about doing my job and quoting him accurately on the record. It was news. Followed up with, just curious, did Grady come to you to write this article? Did you go with him? I called Grady to ask him about retiring, and that's when he criticized Empire ownership. So
listen, here's the deal. I've said this from the beginning.
It's close to show with that's right.
I was not misquoted by Mark Singlace, so I can't sit here and tell you that like I'm a victim of this. I was not aware of the overall general direction of where we were going. And I know that for a fact now that I've had a conversation with John Kane and Tommy Grady. They also, Tommy did not know the general direction we were going. But that doesn't, I'm not going to go after Mark. I own my part of this. I had to say what I had to say. And now that, Tommy's come to the table, he talked to coach, everything, we are headed in the right direction. John Kane and I had a great conversation today. He helped me see some of the stuff that I didn't know about. I'd like to think I was able to, point him in the direction of some of the stuff that he was unaware of. And then, and he is Tommy's boss outside of football and very good friend. So the fact that coach and Tommy had a great conversation, John Kane and I had a great conversation. Mark, you're going to have to go find a new story. That's my number one thing. Go find a new story because we in Empire Land are getting this thing together.
Hey,
that's all that matters.
This show's only big enough for one writer versus host beef, and that's me and you, Pete Doherty. You hear me? You retired bum.
Please don't. We don't need it. Can't we all just
write an article?
Can't we all just get along? Has there been enough crap for no reason this week? Has there been enough?
All I want's a media beef, and I'm getting closer than ever.
I can't wait. I can't wait to go in to the office and talk about football. Talk about people joining the Empire as partners and sponsors. People buying season tickets because they're ready for the season. I can't wait for all those things. I can't wait for any of those things. I can't wait for Trav to tell me to pump the brakes. I can't wait for anything other than this drama that just didn't have to happen. And then again, I own my part of it. And we're excited. I'm excited to talk about football. I know Coach told me the same damn thing. Everybody said the same. Let's talk football. Oh my God, it's so good.
That's it. Speaking about football, one more plug. Levack will be at the UAlbany game doing PA on Saturday. How about a nice plug?
I just need to apologize in advance for my PA work on Saturday.
You will be fine. I think, Levack, you'll be just fine, I think. Trav and Rigney, their 100th episode will be broadcasting live from Philly's Bar and Grill on Sunday. Check them out.
I've heard really good things about.
Have you?
No, I have not heard. I've heard nothing. I didn't even know. Chav's standing right in front of us here at Johnstone Supply. That's why I'm giving him crap. Did you see the one guy who took a dump on me because of that? Some guy wrote, "Oh, you like to criticize people on Twitter, but how about your organization screwing up?" And I'm like, that's not. I mean, it's not necessarily wrong. I do screw up a lot. I wouldn't blame the organization as much as me, but
Monday, you and I are at the Hideaway.
But
Techies Tuesday.
So talk about uncomfortable worlds, right? I'm the PA announcer for the UAlbany Great Danes tomorrow, 3:30 against Villanova, and then we're golfing with Boston Dan and our guy Jared on Sunday at the Saratoga Lake Golf Club for the fall festival. Whew. Uncomfortable. I can't imagine you're a good golfer. I can't imagine.
I stink. I'm going to throw my ball, but I'd say hole 10 by that time.
All right.
Launch it.
Johnstone Supply. Awesome place. Great people. I'm sorry. They like when I say Johnstone Supply.
Yeah.
It's a great place with great people. There's a lot of red in here. Oh, yeah. I'm uncomfortable. All right, everybody, have a great night. Hopefully we'll see you at the UAlbany football game tomorrow. They're going to need the support. Let's go out and get loud and rowdy for our great Danes. And then Sunday we golf. Monday we're live at the Hideaway, and so on and so forth. But get over to Johnstone Supply. Make sure you're ready. And is there a place they can still get on the bus?
GozillaMedia.com. Seats are going away quickly, and we're going to draw our winner off the air. So if you enter today, you'll get the call from us off the air today.
We're Levack and Goz. We want you to be kind to each other. Or fart a lot. I don't really care, whatever you want to do.